Well, it's game week here in the Hill, so it's awesome. It's time to get out those new flags and raise the W to signify the beginning of game week here on the Hill. And I did jump the gun a little bit myself. It's been hanging in front of my house for about 6-7 days, but it's an exciting time. Not for any other reason, just the fact that these players have earned the right to go out there and cash in on all that hard work and that investment, and they're ready. They're ready to play. This is a team that we're facing that there's some significant rivalry moments in this history of this game. It's been played a significant amount of times, dang near 100. It's coming mid-80s, and we got an opportunity against a great opponent with a great tradition to get out there and establish how we want to play the game of football. So, this is a team that we got to prepare for some new players. A new quarterback, UConn transfer. He's going to be playing his first snaps as a colonel, and it'll be as a starter for sure. And it'll be a terrific test for us against a big, able-bodied quarterback. Defensively, they return a lot. I think their defensive end's a terrific player. Aaron, I believe it's Aaron, outstanding player. Both ends are strong players, and they have a secondary with a lot of experience coming back. So, when you're facing an FCS school, a lot of times you're looking to play a bunch of new players and transfers because of the transfer rules being what they are. It's a pretty established group from last year to this year, so it's been good to be able to game plan for them and know really what we're going to be seeing from a standpoint of personnel. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Mike, I know you're about the team and the players and the program, and I realize I'm asking this 5 days before the game, but what's Saturday going to be like for you, not just professionally, but more so personally?
I'm anxious to see what it's going to be like, to be honest. It's going to be the first time. I've gone through a lot of different thoughts in my head about what it's going to be like, but I think the thing I just got to continue to focus on is that everything we do is process-based. It's process-driven. Today, Monday is Dial 'em Up Monday. It's our game plan day where we're dialing them up, trying to get as good of blitzes on defense as we can get, as good of coverages as we can get, so we're sound. Offensively, we're trying to make sure our run game's tight. It's got great answers for everything they do, and then trying to dial them up with some deep shots down the field. Tuesday's tough Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be work day Wednesday. Thursday is going to be performance practice Thursday, and Friday's a little different. We're going to go full speed. It's fast Friday. Thursday's a walkthrough day. Friday's fast because we want to peak at the right time, and then Saturdays for us, the theme is it's payday. It's time to cash in those checks of all that we've invested. So I think if we just stay in that as a full program, myself included, and we just stay in the process, I think we're going to have a whole heck of a lot of fun going out there on Saturday and cutting our guys loose.
Coach, you did say this is a rivalry game, but you guys are pretty heavily favored. What have you guys been doing to keep your team humble and make sure you guys don't look past EKU?
Obviously the season openers are really hard to think about in terms of who's a favorite, who's not a favorite. You just look at even the San Jose State game versus South Florida. I mean, South Florida is everybody's pick to be the Group of 5 representative, in a New Year's Six bowl game preseason. They go down 16-0 against the San Jose State team with a brand new coaching staff. So all you really need to think about and focus on is that the game of football is going to have some weird bounces. You never know how things are going to start out. So we can control what we can control, and that's really our preparation. And always respect our opponent. It doesn't matter if we're playing NAIA school, we're playing a Division I school from the SEC. We respect our opponent, and it's really easy to respect our opponent when it's a great rivalry game in EKU. So I don't think anybody really thinks of it in terms of who's the favorite. I certainly don't, and our team doesn't.
How's DeAndre's ankle?
DeAndre Furby. I thought you were talking about Simmons, but DeAndre Furby is he's on the mend. He's done a great job of getting in a ton of work. We'll have a chance to look at him today a little bit. We'll practice today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then we back off Thursday. It's more of a walkthrough day, and Friday's a fast day. So we'll see what he looks like today, but I'm excited to see him play for us on Saturday. That's what we're hoping and we're anticipating.
Do you have in mind a set group of wide receivers you want to go to Saturday?
We will. Obviously, Xavier Lane won't be up till the Illinois game. Obviously, Quentin Baker's in that same category, but from a running back standpoint, feel good that Cam Eccles-Looper has gotten enough work in where he can go out there and play. He's made a lot of plays in scrimmages, especially as of late. Quinn Jernigan's, he has field credibility. He's done some things on the grass here, at WKU. And then at the other position, Lucky Jackson has been our leader at the receiver position since spring ball. And then our H position between Nicarius Fant and Kylan Towner is very, very solidified. So the answer is a little bit that we do expect to play 8-9 guys at the receiver position and move them around. They're not just going to play in one position. We're not just a field and boundary receiver, right and left receiver. We move those guys all around. So that's a little bit of a challenge to prepare for an opponent because we're not just going to line them up and play them in the same position.
Are these first, for being such a new group, are these first few weeks good for these guys really trying to earn more playing time in the future and show they can be relied upon?
It's going to be huge. You bring up a great point there, Brad. The fact that some of these players we have never seen them under the lights, in a game situation, and I think their success or lack thereof individually early on in that game and week 2, it's going to paint the picture for what they do for the rest of the season. So ideally, we have for example 9 receivers that all respond very, very well, and they have great performance. They see the ball, they catch it, they get yards after catch. I expect them to do that based off their preparation, but they are 18 to 22-year-old young men that are going to react differently. Each one of them are unique and they're wired differently. Some are going to be incredible on game day and maybe didn't have as good a week in practice, and some of that stuff's going to reveal itself on Saturday evening.
I don't know if we've really talked about special teams during camp, but looking at the kicker position,
Yeah.
you have or
A lot of oars. Yeah, we're oaring.
How do you plan to use those guys?
Well, Alex Ranella is an established kickoff specialist, is our backup punter, and is really he's elite talent-wise as a punter, backup punter, as a kickoff specialist, and really as a long field goal specialist as well. But really, we've whittled down our field goal competition for Week 1 starter between Skylar Simcox and Ryan Nuss. Those two are gonna battle it out, and we can certainly make adjustments as the season goes on. But we do want to name a Week 1 starter at that position, and the one thing that Skylar Simcox has going for him is what he brings in terms of a resume from last season. He kicked a game winner against a vaunted rival that put us in a position as a program to win a conference championship. So Skylar's a guy that's done a lot for this program, and he does bring that to the table, and he's a gamer, and we're looking forward to seeing what he does this week in practice to see if he's going to be that guy.
I know Jimmy Sims and Matt Nord have made starts in the past, but I think Miles Payton, this will be his first chance to really get out there and show what he can do with the first team. What kind of things do you expect from him on Saturday?
Well, the great thing about where Miles Pate's at is he's going to be sandwiched between, a veteran intellect, that's played some football here, but really is a smart system player in Matt Nord. And then Dennis Edwards is another guy that's going to be at center. So he's sandwiched between two great communicators, and he has probably as much upside talent-wise as we have in our program in the lines, and so I'm excited to see him cut it loose. He's a guy that from the very minute we got here as a new staff, we're trying to figure out who this guy is. He's built like some of the guys that I've been exposed to at some Power 5 conference teams. Notre Dame and Sanford have had some incredible guards. Josh Garnett, Quentin Nelson, who's at Notre Dame. Those are big time guards, and he's got that type of body. That wide shoulders, humongous calves, big lower half, and he's gonna be a good player for us.
Mike, you mentioned the number of players. You're curious to see what it's going to be like when the lights go on. With you and your staff, is there a balance where you guys talk about having him prepared, but at the same time not doing the paralysis by analysis, in other words, to a point to say, go play, guys?
Absolutely. We need, for our week of practice to really resemble what we want is we want to play hard. So Tuesday, Wednesday practice, we're going to practice hard, physical. We want to play fast. And Friday is going to be about, Fast Friday, going through all the game plan, but with confidence against air, playing fast. And then our last one, we want to have fun. And that's what Saturday should be, is the preparation. Frees your mind up because you've played fast, you've played hard, you've practiced hard, now you can play hard. You've practiced fast, you play fast, and now it's time to cut it loose and have fun. That's what Saturday is about for us. It's payday.
Coach, I'll ask you about the last quarterback you coached with Sean Kaiser. Just got named the Brown starter. Is there any kind of similarities or things that you learned coaching him that you've been able to kind of pass along to Mike White and just kind of think about?
Their similarities there's a lot of them. The biggest similarity that they have is they're very intellectually gifted quarterbacks, and you'd be surprised that there's not that many out there that have the intellectual bandwidth that a Deshaun Kaiser have and that a Mike White have, and they're also intellectual in the sense that you don't just program them, but they're also thinkers, processors. They want to know the why. They want to understand if they do this, we can do this, can't we? And that's what I love about Mike. He's a great communicator, much like Deshaun was. The other thing is their size. They're both 6'4" plus 230, 225 to 235 type individuals that are they're physical in the pocket. And in terms of Mike's growth, it's been really good because he gets this system that we're trying to build in, but he also understands he has some freedom, some intellectual freedom to make things right at the line of scrimmage as well, and that's some of the stuff that we did with Deshaun, which ultimately led to his preparedness for the National Football League.
Mike, is that something you've seen with Mike White from the time you saw him play in the bowl game last December till now? Is just his intellect that has really impressed you among other things?
Yeah, there's been a lot of things. I mean, obviously, that you watch him in the bowl game, the thing that just jumps out to you is, man, what a passer. What a leader, confident, guys feed off of his energy and his smile, his love and joy of playing. But now you have a chance to get to know him. I didn't know him then. And now you get to go through a week where he sits in on game plan meetings with us. And he knows what we're thinking. We know what he's thinking, which is great. We want that synergy between Coach Adams, myself, and him, and Coach Spurrier. So, he's a guy that you want in there. And he wants to coach, too, when his great football career, which I expect to be, a very long career, when it's over, he wants to coach. And he's wired for it. He really is. And that's what I've learned. I didn't know that about him, that he would be wired to be an outstanding coach.
Mike, what do you tell? You mentioned Coach Adams. What do you tell Coach Adams and Coach White? Because, like you, this is the first for them going through as a coordinator with a new job.
Yeah, I think it's similar to our players. We've prepared, they've prepared, and I've really prepared as well. By our practices haven't been just scripted periods where there's no thinking going on for the defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. We've played situational practice and/or scrimmage for the majority of spring and fall camp, and that was with the intent of getting coordinators ready to go, so that they wouldn't just show up on game day and say, "Okay, this is different. This is new. This is something I've never done before." The beauty of it is they've done it a lot. Coach Adams was the play calling coordinator for the white team in the scrimmage, and that worked out pretty well for the white team. Scored a lot of points. One of them was a Taywan Taylor touchdown coming off from the sideline, but that was awesome for him to just work through that mechanic against a live, in the box and a live normal situation of game working as it comes up. So the best thing about game day is you actually have more time in between series to make adjustments. That's the hardest thing. Calling it in practice is actually way more difficult, I know, from doing it, because you'll go from your first string offense is out there, you might score a touchdown, and then all of a sudden, bam, here comes your second string offense against the second string defense, and you never had that dialogue opportunity to think about what do we want to come back with in the next series. So it's almost been more challenging from a preparation standpoint in practice than it has in what will be on Saturday.